Boom, you're looking for this? Episode
Steal your
6, I think. Nope, that was last time. It's boom, you're looking for this time. Because it's Marvel related. Last time we were talking about Age of Calamity. This is basic stuff, Ellie. Come on.
Okay.
Anyway,
Just making.
what's up, gamers? Hope you guys had a great, uneventful, potentially past like week and a half or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or however long it was since we
Like 3
did
years.
another one of these. Because probably around then.
Zach's
So yeah, basically we were like debating on. We said we were gonna have a guest, and then we decided not to. Because I think in the last one even we said we're gonna have a guest next time, and we lied. So sorry about that. I know you guys were looking forward to that. Probably not, because we have like 0 fans, but
Yeah. No, I bet.
Still-
I wonder who listens to this.
probably no one. Not even Haley.
Yeah. Not even to the one she was on. But whatever.
Yeah.
No hard feelings.
Well, anyway, if there are any true fans out there, please,
Join us.
please join us in canceling the mom. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well. Never know.
I mean, if she keeps dissing our podcast, maybe, but
Yeah.
not right now.
Yeah.
So today we got something a little bit different. Instead of just like talking about random stuff, we are gonna have a whole podcast dedicated to our ranking of the MCU movies.
Whoa.
It's gonna be pretty sick. So basically, we're going to probably trigger all these Marvel fans who think Winter Soldier is the best one, and in fact it is not. So
Fact. Berries eat beets.
fact, Winter Soldier is not the best Marvel movie.
Well.
Is there something you want to talk about?
Yeah.
That was a little Victorious reference if you guys didn't understand, because if you're like some kind of
Because we're
nerd.
cultured.
We are cultured. We are men of culture,
Yep.
or at least boys of culture.
Oh yeah. It's
So
us.
we have our tier list. And the way it's gonna work is we have our bottom like 3 movies in a D tier,
Mhm.
and then the rest and then A through and then we have C. You know how the alphabet works. C. We don't have any F tier because I do not think any of the Marvel movies are like that. And so we have basically a C tier, a D tier, sorry. Then we have C, then we have B, then we have A, then we have S. It's pretty standard.
No, if you can do
tier
the
list
alphabet,
stuff.
you'll understand. Because we all know S.
If you can do the
first letter.
alphabet, yes. Everyone knows that. I don't know like how that became a thing of S being the best. But anyway, that's beside the point. So we're gonna start off with each tier. We don't have the same movie ranking. Keep that in mind. We have different rankings. We kind of have an idea what the other person's are, but we don't like know them by the number. So that's kind of where we're gonna go. And Ellie just left the call and rejoined. Welcome back.
Yep, you went silent.
If you didn't want to rank the MCU movies, you could have just told me.
Oh yeah, I'm more of a DC guy, to be honest.
How dare you?
My father built this country.
It's my family, but whatever.
What?
You said my father.
He
it's
doesn't
my
even know
family.
what he said. He said father and not family. He's not a true Office
Yeah,
fan like
Ellie's a fake Office fan. Anyway, let's we are getting so off topic, and we're like 4 minutes into this already. So you just want to start with D tier?
Yep. But before that, we should cue the intro. Guys, that's our new intro.
Dun 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 dun. That's our intro.
Yep, that's our intro right there. I hope you guys like it.
It's just one note. It's like dun, and that's it.
It's the A minor chord.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our intro. It's very staccato.
Okay, guys. Zach is gonna go first, so he doesn't get off.
I'm gonna go first. Okay. So starting from my least favorite to my favorite in the D tier, I only have 3 movies in the D tier, and I think we both have 3 in D tier.
Yeah.
I have from the bottom. I have Iron Man, Thor: The Dark World, then the Iron Man 2. I'm not the original Iron Man. Iron Man 2,
Bruh.
Thor: The Dark World, The Incredible Hulk. Those are my bottom 3. What are yours?
My three is Incredible Hulk, Captain Marvel, and Thor. Two.
Okay. Thor 2. Okay. All right. So, I mean, like, 2 out of the 3 are the same. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
We're we're not going to argue just yet.
we're in sync.
Um, yes, we are in sync.
It's that time of the month.
So, oh my gosh, you are horrible. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to discuss those movies. So,
Yeah.
starting with whatever your which one was your least favorite? The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. Yep.
Okay. So why well, I guess we can both talk about that. So why is that your least favorite?
I think it's just my least memorable. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. I don't think it's a bad. I don't think any of these movies are bad movies. It's
Yeah,
just
same.
I've had.
We don't think any more movies are bad, but
Yeah, they're all amazing. 10 out of 10 masterpieces. But it's just we thought these.
I wouldn't.
We just thought these three were like. I just thought these three were like the. I had to
The
put three in the
mediocre
bottom, and
ones.
these are the three that I put at the bottom. But it doesn't make them,
Yeah,
bad movies. It's
doesn't
just
make them bad. Yeah.
exactly because I like Hulk. I like his character. I like his movie. Same with Captain
Mm-hmm.
Marvel. It's probably not my favorite
Mm-hmm.
movie because it's my second. It's my second to last favorite movie. But I still like it. I'm still hyped for the
Yeah.
second one. And then Thor 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like Thor. I like Natalie Portman. I like all I like the entire cast.
Ellie's in love with Natalie Portman. You heard it here first.
Yep. But I guess my biggest problem with Thor 2 would be the Dark Elves because they're so cool in the comics, but they just ruin them in the movie. In my opinion, they're just
Yeah.
not that good. But they're uninteresting. I was like, why would I? What? Who are these losers? Even though I know who they were, but whatever.
Right.
I digress. This is a good. They're good movies. It's just I had to pick three to be at the bottom.
Right. Yep. I would say Iron Man 2 is my least favorite. And Iron Man is Iron Man is my favorite superhero.
Shut.
I love the original Iron Man. I love him in every like movie he's in. I love him in all the Avengers movies and like Homecoming. It's awesome and all those, but Iron Man 2, I just don't like. I do not
His favorite.
I don't
part of Endgame is
that's
when
I don't hate it, but I think it's kind of mediocre. Same thing with Thor the Dark World. Um it was like a little bit too serious for my liking.
what? Oh yeah, this guy
I
likes
thought like
happy movies.
no. I mean, I do, but like I feel like this is why I love Ragnarok, spoiler alert, because Thor was Thor, I don't know, he's not like a super serious character. This is kind of my issue with like the Thor movies too. Same thing with like Iron Man 2 is that I love Thor as a character. It's just I don't like him as much in his standalone movies except for Ragnarok. Ragnarok is awesome, but
Uh-huh.
and Thor 1 I think is okay. But Thor Dark World I'm just not a fan. And I just my biggest problem probably with it is just it's super forgettable. Like I've seen it like 3 times I think, and I do not remember. I can like barely remember anything still.
Uh-huh.
Like I remember like the Dark Elves. I remember like Jane Foster, like the Aether was like stuck in her or whatever, and then like I remember like the little like the when Loki faked his death. That's pretty much all I remember
And you
from
might
that
only
movie.
remember Loki's death because of Ragnarok.
Right? Yeah. Like I'm gonna be honest, I totally forgot Loki faked his death when like Ragnarok came out, and like that part happened. I was like, oh wait, Loki's not dead.
Yeah, because at the end of that
Loki.
movie, we had that scene with him and Odin's throne, and like I always knew
Mm-hmm.
about that, but I forgot about it. Like right after
Right. Yeah.
2013.
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of my issue with Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2. They both kind of have the same sort of issue. Okay, my biggest thing with Iron Man 2 is I feel like his arc in the first movie was like him. His like whole thing was like he was becoming a responsible adult, and
In Iron Man.
that was like because yeah, an Iron Man like
Yeah.
it was like that was kind of his thing, and like in Iron Man 2, like when he gets drunk at the party and everything, it's just like he totally
Well,
like just
it's not
like kind of like
Iron Man.
seemed
It
like the
was
whole first movie was pointless.
in the first Iron Man.
Not
It
pointless,
was
but
him
first arc.
kind of it was him kind of like seeing like how much his company or what his actions like affect other people, like with his missiles,
Mm-hmm.
his whole. So he canceled his weapon distribution and manufacturing, and then he stopped it, and he pretty much took on like being a weapon himself at being Iron Man. So he kind of gained. So, I don't know. He grew up, but in the second one, it was kind of like he was dying. He was literally dying from the
Mm-hmm.
suits, and he was just kind of and he was just trying to like he was giving Pepper. He gave Pepper his job of being CEO of his own company because he thought he was dying, and if he's gonna give it to anyone, it's gonna be Pepper. And
Mm-hmm.
he was going through something different. Like he grew up. He was still growing up from the first one as much as he could be, but he was just going through something different. So I think it's just kind of he was in a different kind of situation in his scenarios. He was I don't know. He's going through different stuff than the first one. Because in the first one, he wasn't really going through anything. Like he was,
He was being held hostage.
yeah, but that's. But I mean, like mentally, like he wasn't going through like after he was out of being a hostage. While he was dealing with like guilt almost of giving weapons to those terrorists. Like even if he didn't do it, he still did because they could just take it from the army, and that's what they did. I don't know. So he canceled that, and then he's dying in the second one. But I think it's just different. But
Yeah.
that's just a theory,
A game. Oh, film theory, I guess. But
film
game
theory.
theory
Yep.
is more iconic. Yep. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I get it, but I just wasn't a fan of like how they handled that. I guess like it makes sense, but I just didn't like how it was like that it was handled that way. But I do not think it was a bad movie. I thought it was like I don't think it ruined his character at all. Like that didn't happen, so that's why I don't care that much. Like because it was kind of a low stakes movie, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have like a huge problem with it. But it is my least favorite MCU movie.
Okay. You guys can comment in the comments below like how wrong Zach is and how no one in the world would ever agree with him. But yeah,
I mean, you could, yes, but then you'd hurt my feelings.
that's exactly
So
why
yeah,
I do it.
no, okay. Well,
Yep.
um, on to Thor: The Dark World. We already talked about that. Yeah. So you already talked about the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. So, yeah, I think my issue is the same as yours. It's just a very forgettable movie
Mm-hmm.
because you have Edward Norton instead of Mark Ruffalo, and then they couldn't make a Hulk sequel because of Universal. Like all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, and then
Well.
also released in 2008 along with Iron Man, and I think it was The Dark Knight. Did Dark Knight released in 2008 too? It
Mm-hmm.
was another big superhero movie. So I feel like that's just like a recipe for forgettableness.
Yeah, maybe. Mhm. Well, I don't
But
really
yeah,
care about Terrence Howard. Well, like because in Iron Man there's Terrence Howard and then there's Don Cheadle. In the Iron Man 2 doesn't really like different actors. It's not the biggest deal, especially if it's only
yeah.
one change. It's not like it was
Hmm.
three different actors or four different actors. So Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo, I'm okay with because they both did good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I didn't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that kind of makes the movie forgettable because it's not Mark Ruffalo and he's like Hulk now. So that's
Maybe.
kind of why I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was kind of my point. But I think it's actually a decent movie. I do not think it's bad
Mm-hmm.
by any means. Like I think it's actually I like how it's like it has like a lot of subtle references to Captain America because it was like him trying to recreate the super soldier serum. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was cool.
Yeah. And then there's still General Ross.
And then another thing is we don't really see Betty Ross after that movie.
Yeah, it's really just General Ross, which is still cool.
Yeah, and like he never. Yeah, I like him, but like it's kind of weird that they never even talk about her.
Because I really do like Thaddeus Ross. Maybe he'll become Red Hulk one day.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe someday.
Yep. Well, now I guess we're gonna move on to our C tier.
All right, you start this one because I started the last one.
For me, from I guess last to first, it's Thor, Far From Home, Iron Man 2, Guardians 2, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp. So a bunch of
Oh,
sequels.
okay. That Far
Wow,
From
that is
Home, I
it's
was not expecting that.
uh-huh.
Okay.
It's literally
Well,
because it's all sequel except Thor.
yeah, except Thor. Okay. Well, I'll read mine off then. Mine would be C from C, so from bottom to the top, I guess. I have Iron Man 3, Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Age of Ultron.
Doctor Strange, Age of Ultron. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, your opinions only get worse, I guess.
I know. So who you want to talk about? Let's see. What do we have any in common? Thor, right?
We both.
Both have Thor. Okay, we both have Thor. Let's talk about Thor then.
Where do you have Thor?
I have it second to last
Okay.
in that tier.
And I have last. So I don't know. I really like Thor. I think it's a good movie. I really enjoy it. But it's just I like other movies more in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. So my thing with Thor, I thought it was like I don't know. There's like no like just like problem I have with the movie, but it just I don't know. It just wasn't like super. I just wasn't super into the movie. That's pretty much it. Like I. It just was yeah. It just wasn't really my favorite. It wasn't like I thought it was decent. Like I thought it was okay, but definitely not my favorite.
Uh-huh.
But I've like what I like. So this is I forgot to say this about Thor: The Dark World. My thing with Thor is he's like too powerful because that's what I like about Ragnarok and the first Thor is that like they take away the hammer from him,
Mm-hmm.
so he kind of has to like fight outside of that, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fair. But like I like that there was one movie, Thor 2, where he had the hammer the whole time, so we can at least
Right. Yeah.
see him with the hammer a good amount of the time. Because
Mhm.
a big point of Thor, like in Norse mythology or just in Marvel, is hammer.
Hammer.
But he's not Thor, the
Thor,
god
the
of
god of
hammers.
hammers.
So
Yeah, that was really wise. How'd you come up with that?
it just came to me.
Nice.
But yeah, I think it was good. And I liked how he has Stormbreaker now, which is cool.
Stormbreaker's freaking awesome.
Yep, anyone can lift that one.
That is true, but not everyone can wield it
Why not?
because they simply don't have the strength to wield them. Their like minds would collapse into madness or whatever Thor says in Infinity War about it.
Oh yeah. I wonder if Stark could hold it in the suit.
Maybe. I guess we'll probably never know.
Well, we'll probably see like someone in a Stark type suit again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ironheart.
Well, Ironheart. That's gonna be freaking sick.
Yep.
So let's talk about. This is kind of difficult because we don't really have. That was the only one we had in common.
Oh yeah.
Um.
Well, I have Iron Man 2 also after Far From Home, and that's kind of like we kind of cover that movie a lot with Zach, and yeah, again,
Yes.
it's just I like other movies more. But Guardians
Mm-hmm.
2, I really really like that movie.
I do too.
It's not as good as the first one. The
Yeah, I
music isn't
agree.
as good either, but it's still really
Mm-hmm.
good. Like I love the music,
I
and I knew every
yeah.
song when I was watching it in 2017, and it was cool. But yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was
like in the
pretty sick.
comics, Ego is Peter Quill's dad, and I'm okay
Mm-hmm.
with that change in the movie. Thought well, they made it fit and it works, and I think it was really cool because now Now he has like he has an off-brand iPod to listen to music with
Yep.
millions of songs, only actually a couple hundred. But that's gonna be cool. Maybe Guardians 3 he'll be listening to like Nicki Minaj and Drake. That'd be epic,
I
right?
would die. No, that would suck.
Oh yeah, that would suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be some major suckage.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But then after that I have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I really did like that movie. I wasn't it's not like the best movie. It's kind of it's definitely like a low stakes movie, but
right. Yeah.
I really did like how they explored um forgot her name, but the mom pretty much, and like how she's still alive, but now she's different. She could heal ghosts. Now she's all better.
Uh
Now
huh.
she's a good, or at least better person, maybe hopefully.
Yeah.
We were introduced to Agent Jimmy Woo, Jimmy E. Woo,
The best, the
Agent
best,
Jim.
the best Marvel character,
Yeah, I would say he's probably the best or
Asian
second
Jim.
best.
Yeah, Asian
So,
Jim is in Marvel. It's pretty sick.
well, your daddy went to Germany and drew on all the walls with Captain America. So good, and I loved him in the newest episode of WandaVision, and I do hope he
Yep.
comes. I hope we see him more. Maybe he'll join Shield and stop being with the FBI because he was in Shield before he joined the FBI. But
Yeah.
we will see. We will see.
We will see indeed.
Next.
So yeah, that was. I do not. Um. So as far as C tier goes, I think the thing about Marvel movies, I don't think any of them are bad. So that's my thing. So when I say C tier, I think that's like good, like decent movies
Mm-hmm.
at the very least. Cause like, Doctor Strange, I think is a good movie, and I also think Age of Ultron is a good movie. I think Captain Marvel, Thor, and Iron Man 3 are okay.
Yeah.
Like I think they're like a little bit better than okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then Doctor Strange and Age of Ultron are good. Um, so my thing about Captain Marvel is she's like super powerful, which that's okay. This is my problem with the Thor first, like with the Thor: The Dark World too. A little bit is like, well, I guess that's my kind of my problem with the first two Thor movies, is that he is really powerful, and so
Mm-hmm.
you either have to have like a super strong villain, or he's just a character with, or take away his hammer. And what they did with Captain Marvel is they like made her. They didn't like she didn't actually have like a super powerful villain that she needed to. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't take away her power. Well, I mean, they kind of did. They kind of took away her powers a little bit, and they kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but like she didn't really have like a super strong enemy either.
Yeah. Well,
So that was kind of my thing.
she didn't really need a powerful villain. It was more about figuring out who she really is, and
Yeah.
I like that. And I don't think every character that's super strong or that's supposed to be super strong, like if they're born super strong, that's okay. And people need to stop like they can't be stronger than Thor. Thor grew so much. He has so much character development. While Captain Marvel is just stronger. That's just it's not doesn't mean Thor's weak. It just means she's stronger. I'm pretty sure Thor doesn't like, you know, well, he would care. He would care, but he wouldn't really
Strongest Avenger.
point break. But yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter who's
Yeah.
stronger or strongest. Who cares? I mean, like my favorite character is Ant-Man.
Right.
He's definitely not the strongest. Well,
Oh yeah, for sure.
he's the best magician though.
That is true. He's better than Loki
This is true.
and Wanda and Doctor Strange combined.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't really. I've never really cared if who's the strongest Avenger, who's the weakest. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, I agree, but yeah, I think just my thing with Captain Marvel is wish she had like a more of a journey to becoming super strong, because Thor has always been like pretty strong, like with the hammer,
Mhm.
and then they take away the hammer and he like proves that he's actually still like really strong
Yeah.
without it too, and that's like the whole thing in Ragnarok too.
Yeah.
And then but then he also gets Stormbreaker and he's like insanely powerful,
Mhm.
which so yeah, I do not mind Captain Marvel being like the strongest, but I just wish that she had more of an arc, and like that could still happen,
Yeah.
like with the sequel and
Yeah,
everything.
she
But
could still get stronger, but
yeah,
but
exactly,
in my opinion, I think Wanda is definitely going to become the strongest Avenger.
for sure.
But yeah, it might take some time because she's
Yeah.
taking over in
So,
town right now.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And Iron Man 3. Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on Iron Man 3?
Good movie, underrated.
It
I
is
don't
a
think
good
it's a
movie.
bad movie.
It is okay, actually. I don't think it's
Um,
good, but I think it's okay.
yeah, I really do like it. I liked how it was. It really showed Tony be a superhero without being in the suit. Like he was Iron Man,
Mhm.
but he's not. He wasn't in the suit. Like when he was buying all that stuff from the store and he built all that stuff to infiltrate the mansion. Like that was my favorite part of the movie. It was so cool.
Yeah.
He was like James Bond, but not.
Stark. Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think it was a good movie. Where were you?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was better than the second one. And I don't know. I just again, it just like was low stakes for the most part, and this is my problem with the Iron Man 2 and 3. I don't really like the villain that much.
Are you
I think
which villain though?
I think
Trevor or
what?
Albert Killian?
Both.
I loved Trevor,
Trevor gosh dang it.
but yeah,
I don't
'cause
yeah, I mean like
the big
the whole like Mandarin twist, I didn't really like that. I'm glad it was a twist. I'm glad it was different, but I
yeah,
didn't really
I
like
do
it.
like that they took a risk. It wasn't a big.
Yeah, I admire that.
I always love when they take risks. If sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but they took a risk. And
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. I do like Trevor. Like I thought he was funny, but and who knows? Maybe he'll become like the actual Mandarin. Like that'd be kind of cool. Like if it
Yeah.
was like a complete another 180, and he just became like the world's worst terrorist.
That'd be kind of funny, but
Yeah,
that'd be super weird at the
and
same
he
time.
he keeps his accent. That but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Um,
I also didn't like the whole thing with Pepper, like her getting like the powers and everything. I didn't really like that either. I was
yeah.
I don't know. It was just like it was just kind of weird because she was I don't know, like it was Tony's whole thing was like I have to protect her, and then he's like he thought he lost her,
Mhm.
and then she just comes out of nowhere and like karate kicks the dude, and then I'm like, oh okay.
Well,
Well, I mean, I didn't hate that, but like it was just like they should have called the movie Pepper One,
yeah,
and then I would have been okay with it.
yeah. Well, a big part of Tony's life is Pepper. But yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and my other problem with kind of Iron Man 2 and 3, too many suits, too many, because this was my problem with the Star Wars prequels too. Like just like with Attack of the Clones, there were like so many like lightsabers, and it's not as special if there's like a ton of them. That's kind of my thing with it. Like I don't like how there were like a million Iron Man suits
yeah.
and
Well,
how he could control it with his like with not being in the suit. I just didn't like
well, it
that.
was him and Jarvis controlling it. So and that makes sense because Jarvis can do that.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I don't think it's like a plot hole, but I just didn't like. It's like why? Like, what's the point of Iron Man being there then?
What's the what's the point of what?
Of Iron Man like being there in person.
Well, because they're helping him because they're still suits and like Jarvis is still doing it, but Jarvis is really only listening to what Tony is saying. Like he's not like Tony's not telling like every suit where to go. He's just saying, Jarvis, I need these points to either be like I need you to support some of these beams so this whole tower doesn't fall, or I need you to go fight these guys. Wow. And then it's like give me a suit when he jumps off. Like it's kind of vague, but he's Tony Stark is still needed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. I just wasn't a huge fan of it. Um, let's see. Doctor Strange and Age of Ultron. Have you talked? What other ones in C have you not talked about yet?
I talked about my whole C list.
You talked about all of them. Okay. So Doctor Strange and Age of Ultron. I think those are good movies. I like them. I think those are like the first two like movies that I like actually enjoy on the list. Like I think the other ones are entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think they're like I don't have like a strong urge to rewatch them.
Yeah.
Thing with Doctor Strange, I just don't really like Dormammu as a villain. That's kind of my biggest thing.
Yep.
I mean, I do like I love Doctor Strange as a character. He's like
Mm-hmm.
easily top 5 superheroes of all time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought the thing with the ancient one was really good, and I just like how the idea of how he's like a surgeon, and then I really like his arc. That's like something that's probably my favorite part
Arc
of
is
that
really
movie
good.
is his arc. Like, yeah, it's like it's really unique too, and I just think it's like he's like a super arrogant guy, and then becomes like a wizard. And but another one of my problems, like I said with Captain Marvel and Thor,
Yeah.
is he they don't really say how long he trains for, but like immediately he's like the strongest ever. And that's why I don't have as big of a problem with it as Thor and Captain Marvel, because he trained a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't mind it as much. But and like there was nothing else they could really do. And that's at some point in the movie he had to become really strong.
Yeah.
So
Well, because
that was kind of my thing.
I'm pretty sure it was like 3 or so years that he was actually training in the movie. It was just a big montage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just like they don't say how long he trains for, so I didn't
Also,
know.
he was gifted. Like he was supposed to be the
Right.
best of us, right?
Right. He was that's another thing why I don't mind it as much either, because like
Mm-hmm.
it was like prophesized that he would be like that.
Well, yeah. But for Thor, he's also prophesized. Like it's not an
Yeah.
official prophecy, but he was explaining how in Infinity War, like that's why he's not dead yet because the universe just
His
keeps.
fate wants him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's
Yeah.
his time will come.
Mhm. And Age of Ultron, I love Age of
I think
Ultron.
it's the most
I think that
underrated
is a very
MCU
good.
movie.
I think it's a good movie. You think it's the most underrated?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would. I don't know. I think I'd probably agree with you. I mean, either that or the first Avenger, Captain America.
I think it
Um.
might be my. I don't know. I really just that's the only Avengers movie where it's like the Avengers are together and like they're
Mhm.
together from the beginning to the end. It's like they have this official
Yeah.
Avengers Tower. They have the official Avengers like Quinjet. They're like the official Avengers. They're already all together. They don't have to worry about them
Mhm.
getting together as a team for this time. Because like Infinity War, like
Yeah.
they had
Well,
Civil
because
War
like
and all.
that's after the Avengers broke up.
Yeah, and then Endgame, it's like they have to get back
Half of
together.
them are dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. That's yeah. I think Age of Ultron is yeah. That's what I like about it, because I think a lot of like super movies like that they spend like a lot of the movie like getting them together, but they already did that in the first Avengers. So I like how they didn't have to like feel the need to rehash that, and they still made a very good story with them all being
that's my
together
third
like that.
favorite Avengers movie. So yeah,
Wow.
yep.
It's my fourth
So
favorite.
are we going to B tier now?
Yeah, let's take a break and then we'll go to B tier.
Break time.
Do you want me to do B tier, or do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay, from the bottom, I have Captain America: The First Avenger, Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Guardians Volume 2.
Well, my B tier from worst to best is Homecoming, Iron Man 3,
Okay.
Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain America: The First Avenger.
All right, so we have 2 in common then, right?
Mm.
All right. Well, we've talked a little bit about Ant-Man, but let's talk about both Ant-Man movies.
Yeah.
So first Ant-Man, I thought was a good movie. Again, the Ant-Man movies are just low stakes, so like naturally they're not going to be like as epic, I guess. So that's kind of my thing with that. But I do think I like Ant-Man and the Wasp a little bit more, just because of I like Hope as the Wasp, and I like Hank's character better,
Uh-huh.
and I like the whole thing with the quantum realm, like with Janet Van Dyne and stuff like that. I liked that stuff more than the original.
Hmm. Well, I like the original more because I really like the heist kind of movie,
Yeah,
and I don't know, I really like. I just really like it. Also, Luis is like amazing.
he is amazing. He is
It's so good.
truth serum.
Yeah, it's just I really like it. The villain is okay, Darren Cross. Like they're better
Yeah, I think the
villains.
villains. I think the villains are just okay in both movies.
Yeah, but I think what could be interesting is a Michael Douglas prequel Ant-Man movie as him and Janet as Ant-Man and the Wasp. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be a cool either Disney Plus show or movie. That'd be
I think it'd be
awesome.
better as a plus show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
like part of it could be like maybe there's no villains. Maybe like I guess the antagonist I guess could be like it could be Howard Stark wanting to get like pressuring Hank to give him the formula.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Give me the formula crabs.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I give it a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, now we've talked about Ant-Man.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Homecoming because we both have Homecoming in B tier,
Yep.
and I know a lot of people would like actually put that in S tier or at least A tier. And I thought Homecoming was awesome. I really liked
Yeah.
it.
People either put it in S tier or F tier.
Yeah, because either like you have like the hardcore Sam Raimi fans and like are like just like this is not the same one, so therefore it sucks, or they're like, oh my gosh, Peter Parker, Tom Holland is so hot. Like that's just like
Yeah.
that's kind of how it works.
That is exactly. It's either teenage girls loving the movie or it's like middle-aged men hating it.
Yeah, because that's too much Tony Stark or whatever.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, because people, it's a lot different than the comics. Because like people don't
Mm-hmm.
like how it's Tony Stark is the father figure and not Uncle Ben. And they don't like how Jay is not Mary Jane, but it's Michelle, and how there's no Harry Osborn, but it's
Michelle
Ned.
Jacobs.
Ned Leeds is actually
Mm-hmm.
like Ned Leeds is actually like he's more. It's almost like they took Miles Morales' friend and they just kind of changed his name to like an already established Marvel character.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, like that's um no, not really. Like it's I just think he's I don't know. And they also don't like the that he has like all this technology in his suit and like how he didn't actually make his suit. But in my opinion, he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even use the technology. Like he just used normal webs like most of the time. The only time he uses like
Right.
electro webs is when he's like trying to learn how to use it. He
Yeah.
doesn't actually
Web
like
grenade.
yeah or instant kill mode. He doesn't actually use it in
Yeah.
that movie.
Until Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah, when he's literally fighting for life, which I think even Tobey
It's
Maguire would do.
justified then.
So, but yeah, I think, and also I do like Ned. I do like Ned. I don't think he's like
I
gay.
love Ned.
Um, but yeah, I think Miles Morales. We could still see him in the MCU, and we could still have Genki, and we could still see that duo. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
also Michael Keaton is an awesome villain in that movie.
He is awesome. I love
I'll
Vulture.
kill you and you. Like, dude, it was so good. Like he's playing so many winged characters. It's so funny.
That is very true.
Birdman, Batman, Vulture. So good. So good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was good. Underrated, but or overrated. It's either one of those.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do love Homecoming. I think it's a great. I'd say Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man
Yeah.
easily.
I think he's the most
I do.
Tobey Maguire, he wasn't my favorite Spider-Man. Like like when he when he puts on the suit, he's not really like the best Spider-Man, but he's a pretty good
Mm-hmm.
Peter. I think he's a little too nerdy. I feel for Peter. Like Peter's a nerd,
Yeah.
but it's like Peter can somewhat stand up for himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like Andrew Garfield, he was a really good Spider-Man, but he was just a different kind of Peter Parker. And I feel like he was too
Yeah.
cool. But then like Tom Holland, he's
Mm-hmm.
like nerdy, but he can still stand up for himself, and he's witty as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So how would you rank the like between Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland? Like who is your
From
favorite
worst to
and
best,
least
it'd
favorite?
be
Yeah, from worst to
Toby,
best.
Andrew, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I mean, I don't know. Toby and Andrew, you could interchange those two, to be honest. But I'd say Tom Holland is my
Uh-huh.
favorite.
And I think that my thing about the Andrew Garfield movie, we're kind of getting off topic, but I'm going to say it anyway.
My thing about the Andrew Garfield movies is I think the first Amazing Spider-Man is good,
Uh-huh.
and then the second one was not very good. But I like some of them. Like I had some good moments. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but then it ends on a cliffhanger, and then the third one never happens. It happens,
Yeah,
and then
but it's not a
Tobey
big.
Maguire movies are like I think they're good. I think the third one is meh. First one is good. I think second one, Tobey Maguire movie is pretty good.
I think my favorite thing out of the two Tom Holland movies, the two Andrew movies, and then the three Toby movies, thing, like 7 of those movies, is the chemistry between Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man and Peter.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that even though I liked how the Amazing Spider-Man had Gwen Stacy. I liked that. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe Gwen can come back in Spider-Man 3 with all those rumors.
Yeah, that'd be
knows?
cool.
But who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Yeah. We also have Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah, Captain America: First Avenger.
Also,
Here's the
underrated.
thing: Captain America. Yes, I think that is an underrated movie. Captain America: The First Avenger is probably it's my least favorite Captain America movie. However, Captain America has by far the best trilogy, in my opinion.
It's fair.
Um,
I think it's my first. I think it's my favorite Captain America movie. So, yeah.
The first Avenger?
Yeah.
Then how'd you... But you haven't talked about Winter Soldier or Civil War yet. How did you rank those?
Well, I ranked them. I think Winter Soldier and Civil War are better movies, but I just like First Avenger more. But
Oh, okay.
so that's why I ranked those two higher. But
Okay.
yeah, I do really like First Avenger. I think he's the most Captain America because like in Civil War he's you know defying hundreds of countries.
Mm-hmm.
And Winter Soldier, he's probably as Captain America as you can get though, too, because
Right.
he's fighting Hydra again. But I don't know. I just feel I don't know. I always like Captain America the best when he's in the 40s in the World War. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that you're echoing by the way.
Oh,
Um
okay.
my favorite thing about Captain America.
Mhm.
My favorite thing about Captain America is that
He's a very consistent character.
Yeah.
and I think that's really shown in the movies too. Like he always will do what's right regardless of what everyone else thinks. And that's what I really like about him. I think that's like what I really like about Civil War too. It's like even though he usually like stays loyal to his country, but since his country wasn't doing the right thing, he thought in that case, then he didn't.
Because
That's what I liked
it was
about
always interesting because I remember I was watching an interview for I think it was the director of one of the movies that Captain America was in, and it was like they told Chris Evans to follow the script exactly because that's Captain America, and then they told like Robert Downey Jr. to like use the script as like a reference almost and just be yourself,
Yeah.
and like because that's just how it is, and it's just I think that's so cool
Mm-hmm.
and funny.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I like Red Skull a lot as a villain.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty cool. And I don't know. I don't think I have any like problems with the first Avenger really. It's just more that it's not that it's low stakes. Like it does set up a bunch of stuff. It sets up basically everything for the rest of the Captain America movies. But I like as far as Bucky goes. But I like how it's an origin story and it's low stakes, but at the same time, it's really epic. All right, well,
But yeah,
that's kind of our thoughts on the first Avenger.
Yeah.
Um.
and now I have Black Panther. That's the only one we haven't talked about yet, and I think that
Yeah, and
I
Yeah,
think it's overrated, but I still think it's
I
a
do
really good
too.
movie.
Same. I 100% agree. I think it is a very good movie. However, I think it is also very overrated.
I think it has one of the best villains in any movie.
Right, yeah. I love Killmonger. He's one of my favorite
Yes.
villains, but yeah. And I haven't talked about Guardians 2 yet actually. We have a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't have that much to say about it, but
Mhm.
I do like it. I think it's a very good sequel. But I do not think it is as good as the original. That's all I kind of have to say about
Yeah.
that. So are we done with B tier then? You want to go to A?
Yeah, let's go to A.
All right, this is the kicker. This is the kicker, guys. A lot of people are going to get mad at me for this one, but
Yep.
you want to start?
We'll start.
Or you want me to start?
Okay. We have, for me, from worst to best, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and then Avengers Infinity War.
All right. You ready for mine?
No.
Okay, well, you're going to hear it anyway. From worst to best, I have Iron Man 1, Black Panther, Far From Home, The Avengers, and Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I think both of our choices are very controversial
Mhm. Yeah.
because neither of us have Winter Soldier in S. Is that right?
Mhm.
Both have an A.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you have in common? Winter Soldier and Black Panther, or did you have Black Panther and B?
I had it in B.
Okay. So, Winter Soldier, is that the one we have in common then? An A?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about that then. Here's the thing. Winter Soldier is amazing,
Amazing.
but I think it is overrated. I do really like it. I like the story. I like the whole thing with Bucky. I thought that was really cool. I like how Black Widow is in it.
Mm-hmm.
I just do not like. I just think the other movies on this list are better. Like the one in my S tier are just better movies in my opinion.
Uh-huh. Well, that's fair. But for a while, like all the movies in your S tier, I'm guessing are like newer movies.
Yeah, they're newer.
Like the oldest one, I'm guessing, is like from 3 years ago, and that's already like 3 years
No,
older.
wrong.
What was it 6 years ago?
Wrong. It's like 6.5, 7.
Like 12 years ago.
It's
Well,
a million
anyway,
years ago. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Captain Winter Soldier, I think I don't know if it's overrated, but I think it definitely deserves the love because it's a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the
I'd say so
first.
too,
I
but-
think it was the first really good movie in the MCU.
Really? I thought the first really good one was probably the Avengers.
Well, that's like really good, but this is like really good.
Yeah, right. I do like Winter Soldier better than the Avengers, but I think Avengers was the first like very good movie. And yeah, Winter Soldier is an amazing movie. I just do not think it is the best one.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair. But I don't know. I think the story about him and Bucky, really good. It's just different because like he met Peggy too. He met Peggy and Bucky in that movie. It's like it's completely different because Peggy's like old and she had like a great life. She's on the brink of death almost because she's old. And then you have Bucky who's like young and strong, just like Cap, but he's a terrorist.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just weird. And then Hydra is taking over Shield. And like the leader of Shield is like Nick Fury, who started the Avengers. So it's like, who can you trust?
Yeah, that's what I really like about it. That's probably my favorite part of that movie. It's just like, because if you haven't like, I haven't really read the comics. I have like a rough idea of what happens in a lot of the comics, but I've never read that. I haven't read very many of them, so I really like how like Shield was overtaken by Hydra, because you don't really expect that, because you expect that just to be the whole what Captain America: The First Avenger is about, just because it's in the 40s too. So you think that he destroyed, like Hydra fell when Red Skull was not killed but teleported. So like when Red Skull just wasn't around anymore. So I thought that was really cool that Hydra was still a thing. And then the whole thing with Nick Fury was really cool too. And I like how Black Widow was in it. And it was kind of a who can you trust sort of thing.
Yeah. But at least we have Sword.
Well, yes, we do have Sword. I wonder which Pokemon game do you think Nick Fury would get, Sword or Shield?
Gun.
That would be funny. So let's talk about. We've talked about Black Panther a little bit. Have we talked about the original Iron Man? We have a little bit, but do you have where is your original Iron Man, an S or A?
S.
Or B? It's an
S.
S. Okay, so let's wait for that then.
Yeah.
And I assume you have the Avengers in S, and so I have Far From Home in A.
Yeah.
So we haven't really talked about Far From Home. What are your thoughts on Far From Home?
Well, we did talk about Far From Home.
We did a little bit, not a lot though.
I think it's a good movie. Underrated.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I liked it better than Homecoming. I know a lot of people don't, but I did like it better than Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked the thing with him and MJ. I thought it was really cool. Like I thought it was a lot better than Homecoming. Yeah. And Mysterio as a villain was just awesome. Yeah. He was like Syndrome in the MCU. It was so sick.
Yeah, he was. But Syndrome. I think the scene where like we see, because like all the comic fans, we all know that he's gonna be the villain.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, when are we gonna see him switch? Like, could do a complete 180. And well, the scene when he was in the bar with all those people, and he was like, "Remember when Tony did this to you?" Or he's, like all that stuff. And we saw the guy from the first Iron Man movie being yelled at by Obadiah Stane.
Yeah, that was just like insane. And, like, a box of scraps.
And we saw like the actual scene, and then there's like other people. Like, and I thought that was so cool.
That was so cool. Yeah, I love how they brought all those actors back from a movie that came out like 11 years before that.
Yeah,
that was just so awesome. And I don't know, like
when I saw this in the theater,
when Beck put on the glasses, like I don't know what it was, but like I had like an internal panic attack because like he looked like I was like, what the heck? Like did that ever happen to you? Like he just looked so much like Tony Stark to me for a second. It was just super weird. Yeah. And just like the way he looked, it like gave me chills. It was really weird
because it fit so well.
Yeah, like it was just wow.
Yeah, he was good. I really hope we can see more.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal was awesome in that movie.
Yeah, he was good.
And yeah, so is that it for A tier?
You see like a master illusionist and like how his suit was fake. Everything was fake. I think everything was fake.
Yeah.
And he was really Syndrome because he was like creating a threat that actually like destroyed the city, but he saved people.
Yeah.
And I like how he also brought up the multiverse.
Right, I like how they the thing about I thought it was like interesting when like the multiverse was like gonna be brought through a Spider-Man movie. I was like, what the heck? And like it didn't end. I actually wasn't the multiverse in that movie, but I thought that was kind of an obscure movie to like introduce the multiverse, and I think Doctor Strange will suit it better. But yeah, I still thought it was cool like how they teased the multiverse. It didn't actually happen, and I know some people are upset about that, but I'm like, they're still gonna have the multiverse. It's just not gonna be in that movie.
Yeah. Because like, well,
no, that was
like,
kind of
Spider-Man has like a huge thing with the multiverse, not even with just the Spider-Verse. Like, I don't know, because there's so many different like kinds of Spider-Man that Marvel has made, so it's just interesting, and so that's why Peter kind of always gets in the comics or in movies now, why he's always like involved with the multiverse, and
yeah,
the multiverse is so cool because like everything Marvel is technically like in the same universe or a multiverse, like. Everything like Spider-Man PS4 is connected, Lego Marvel Superheroes is connected too, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
I hope they can show up in the movies.
Yeah, I would love
Lego Obi-Wan to be in the next Avengers movie.
Yes. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Lego Obi-Wan for Smash.
Yes. Well, maybe one day, but
yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I really hope we see Sinister Six because we can have like Mysterio, we have Vulture,
yes,
we have Shocker,
that'd be so.
And then we will
Shocker.
and that's 4.
Uh-huh.
And we could get
And
2.
then yeah, like MatPat did this whole thing on that, and that would be so cool if that actually happens.
A cool one would be Jason Momoa as Kraven the Hunter, and I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
All right, you want to move on to S?
Oh man, S time.
This is
So
S
I have
time.
from worst to best:
S stands for
Civil War,
Okay.
Age of Ultron, Endgame, the first Avengers, and Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We actually ours are like fairly similar.
So mine, from worst to best, I have Civil War, Guardians 1, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame.
All right.
So, let's talk about Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Iron Man because that was in my A tier.
Best
We haven't talked about it really
MCU
yet.
movie.
You think it's the best? I definitely love it. I don't think it's the best, but I think it is a pretty good movie.
Who asked?
But wow, your mom.
Okay.
So, thing about Iron Man, I love his origin story. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I love how I think it's like cool to watch Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like I think it's cool watching the MCU movies chronologically.
Yeah.
Because you see Howard Stark and then you see Tony Stark, which is his son,
become Iron Man, which I just think that's like I think it just that kind of almost makes Iron Man's arc a lot cooler, like knowing that his dad worked with Captain America.
Yeah. Because
And stuff. I like that a lot.
that's a huge part of Tony's life is like having to live up to Captain America. Like his dad always talked about Captain America being his best creation ever. And then he has to live up to being Captain America. So then in Iron Man 2, when he sees Howard say, Tony, you're actually my greatest invention. Like that was a huge character like moment for Tony. Like, and that's why I think you're wrong about Iron Man 2.
You thought my opinion was objectively wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I did like that moment though. As much as I don't really like Iron Man 2, I really like that moment of where
Howard said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of Iron Man. Do you want to talk about Civil War? We haven't talked about that
Let's
yet.
talk about Civil War. Dude, that
Civil
was
War,
a hype.
best
so
Captain America movie.
There's so much hype for that movie.
Yeah, heck
Because
yeah.
we were introduced to Black Panther and Spider-Man.
That was just wow. That was so sick.
Like I could like it was so surreal. Like I was like Spider-Man in the MCU. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Awesome.
And I like
And,
how
yeah,
they were both on Iron Man's team.
Right. Well, are you okay? Here's the kicker. Are you team Iron Man or team Cap?
I was team Iron Man when the movie came out. And I think if I was a superhero, I think I would still sign the Accords just because it's the right thing to do.
Okay, Don Cheadle.
Bruh. Okay. But, I think because, I don't know, because I think I would just sign it. I would just sign it. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I like Iron Man's I like the superheroes on Iron Man's team better, but I think I agree with Cap as far as the Accords go. Like I agree with like his opinion on them. But like I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of in the middle because like obviously you can't just there can't be no casualties even when you're trying to save everyone. But at the same time, if you sign the if you sign the Accords, then you're like kind of signing your life away to them basically.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to help. Like you might end up helping less people. But if you don't sign the Accords, then like you're a criminal and you can't if they catch you, then you can't help anyone.
Yeah.
So it's like
in Age of Ultron, when they needed to go to Wakanda because of the vibranium, if they signed the Accords before, the government would be like, "No, why do you guys? No, you guys aren't going to Wakanda."
yeah, and then Sokovia could have just like been actually like the whole like Sokovia could have been like even more destroyed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I guess it would really just depend. But I don't know. I think it would probably I don't know. It's just kind of a hard thing to think.
Yeah.
But
I'd say I'd be in the middle, but I'd more
lean towards Cap side
Mm-hmm.
in that. Like as far as my opinion goes, but like whether I'd sign the Accords or not, I don't know.
So, do we both put Guardians 1 in S?
I put it in A.
You put Guardians 1 in A? Okay.
No.
Well, I loved Guardians 1. I remember when the trailer came out, I was like kind of worried. I was like, this is gonna end badly for the MCU, but it was an amazing movie.
Guardians.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think I think it's probably the most rewatchable Marvel movie.
For sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely one of the most rewatchable MCU movies. It's
just so different.
very good.
It's like
Mhm.
when I was first watching it, I was like, wait, oh yeah, this is Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I love Guardians just because I like how funny it is and I like how different the characters are.
Yeah.
That's kind of my favorite thing about it. And I didn't love Ronan as a villain. I thought he was okay.
Yeah.
But I think everything else in the movie more than makes up for it.
Yeah. And I like how you can kind of like say like which character of the Guardians is kind of like the equivalent to the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like Rock is like Stark, Quill is like Cap, Groot is like Hulk, and Drax is like Thor, and I guess Widow is like Gamora, and then Hawkeye, who?
Doesn't exist.
Hawkeye, man, legendary bows, man.
Mantis.
But yeah,
Yeah. So, and I like how you can compare them to the Avengers, but
It doesn't feel like a
rehash of them, but in space. You know, like the characters are very different. At the same time, you can kind of tell who's which.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Oh yeah, another A
Yes.
tier.
That is S for me.
but
I love Ragnarok. I think it's like Guardians. It's like really funny, which is you didn't really expect for a Thor movie.
Mm-hmm.
but so it's like Guardians in that way.
And it's in space, and Jeff Goldblum is awesome. And
I love how Hulk is in it.
Hela is one of my favorite villains.
Yeah.
I like how Asgard got destroyed, and I love Loki in that movie. It's just Ragnarok is awesome.
Thor literally lost like almost everything, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
His hammer, his hair, his home. Like, I don't know, 3/4 of his people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then his sister and his dad.
Yeah, I don't think he cared about his sister though.
Huh?
I don't think he cared about his sister being dead though.
Oh yeah, well he still lost her.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, Thor has lost, and then he lost his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
And
then he lost half the universe because he didn't aim for the head. What a freaking loser.
yeah, different movie, but that was like maybe a day later.
yeah, that's still part of his arc though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, then he gets to become Bro Thor, and I think that's a good trade-off.
Uh-huh.
Well, do you want to just segue that into Infinity War?
Yeah,
then?
segue that into
We haven't
Infinity
really
War,
talked about
man. Another A tier.
Because how dare you?
How dare you only put it in A tier?
Yeah. I think Infinity War was
Infinity War?
awesome. I
did too.
didn't get spoiled, but I got spoiled about someone like dying. I heard someone say, "Oh, did you hear like a character dies?" I heard a character I was in math class and someone behind me was talking to someone else, and they're like, "I heard someone dies in like the first 5 minutes," and I was like, "Oh."
It's Heimdall and Loki.
And I was like Heimdall or Loki, pretty much. But I didn't. I was thinking it was more Heimdall, so I didn't really care about that. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing about Infinity War, I was at school,
And like I was like,
I knew Vision was gonna die just because he was the Mind Stone,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know that like that little people actually like considered that.
and like one of my friends was like, dude, my friend told me who dies. I was like,
Don't tell me. He's like, well, who do you think dies? And I was like, I think Vision's gonna die. He's like, yeah, he does. And I'm like, thanks for that.
Wow.
And
Jerk.
but like I already knew that. Like I knew that was gonna happen. But
I was like,
But like once it got towards the end of the movie and he had all the stones, but that one I was like, oh well, now I know he's gonna snap.
so that was kind of my thing.
well, because we all knew that Thanos was gonna get the stones and he was gonna snap. Like they're not gonna build up this whole 20.
Yeah, I was like pretty confident Thanos was gonna win, but even though even when he did, like it was still a cool moment.
Yeah.
Like, cause the thing about I like how in like that last scene where he's trying to get the Mind Stone, it's like on and off of whether you think he's gonna win or not. Cause like once he comes to Wakanda and he starts like tearing through the Avengers, you're like, oh man, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
And then when Wanda pushes him back, like starts destroying the Mind Stone, you're like, oh no, they're gonna destroy the Mind Stone. And then when Thanos starts pushing back, he's like, oh no, he's gonna get it. And then Wanda destroys the Mind Stone. It's like, oh, he did it. And then he wins by time and then gets it. You're like, oh, he's gonna win. And then Thor gets him. You're like, oh no, he isn't. And then he snaps. You're like, oh. I like how it's like on and off for like that long. I thought it was like it wasn't like overbearing, but it was still cool.
I think the worst stone for Thanos to have gotten would have been the Time Stone, because literally anything you do, you can just rewind it.
Right. Yeah. That was like.
Yeah, that was
So yeah.
yeah. Well, I loved Infinity War. It was very good. So
Yeah.
here's one that we both agree on S tier.
Mhm.
Endgame.
Yep. Endgame. Amazing.
Masterpiece.
Well-
Masterpiece of a movie.
I think for fans it is, but like like it's. I don't think.
It doesn't work as a standalone film at all.
But it has a bunch of fan service, which maybe some people don't like, but I think that's the whole point of it, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't think it was like fan service like out of like it was still like everyone was still in character.
Mhm.
Like it's not like that stuff
Yeah.
couldn't have happened if
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Every
Like
time-
I feel like it was still in character.
Every time I still watch the portal scene, whenever I watch the movie, I cry, and I love it. And I don't watch that
It's so
scene
good.
on YouTube. Yeah, so because like I want to save the movie, because the more I would watch the
Right.
scene, the more the scene would just kind of it wouldn't be as epic.
That'd be special.
Yeah, and I don't even listen to the portals like track for the score.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's weird, maybe it's not. But yeah, because like that whole like sequence of like Cap, you still there? I'm on your left, and I was like, oh my god,
Like,
Like,
yeah.
I think that was so good, and it was so cool how Cap would stand up against the whole army, because that's exactly who Cap is.
Right. Yeah. That's what I like about it. So it's fan service like that,
Mhm.
like where all the characters come. But like Cap didn't know that was gonna happen. He was still willing to like fight all of them at once, and it was just so cool.
Yeah, and like
And
him lifting up Mjolnir, it was so cool.
that is like
But I think the scene was cool, but I think it could have been maybe better. Like when he grabs it and he kind of like turns to like the right, and it kind of set music. I feel like it could have been done a little better, but
How so?
I don't know. But like right before that, when the hammer's like lifting, and you
Oh
see
my
Thor
gosh.
lift, I thought that was perfect.
I like whenever I think about that, I like just uncontrollably smile because I love that moment so much. That is like
Mhm.
probably one. Like I don't know, maybe it might be my favorite MCU moment ever.
Yeah. And like when they're all running, my favorite part is like when the two armies are like running towards each other. I love how Ant-Man is like huge. Like when you see Ant-Man like in the background, like that just kind of makes the whole war scene look more like a superhero film. When you see like a huge guy, when he's like you see a guy as tall as
Right.
a tower, it just makes it look more like a superhero movie. It's just I love it.
And I like how Ant-Man is not really. He's not like really that strong. Like even, but he can hold his own against all of that army. Like
Yeah,
when he
is
like
he-
really needs
I
to,
mean,
which is what I really
He
like about
stomped
Ant-Man.
on Cull Obsidian. Just
Like yeah, he freaking destroyed him, and like not even Doctor Strange and Tony and Spider-Man combined, like they couldn't even do that.
does anybody have any orange slices? But yeah, I thought that was so perfect, and like with Captain America lifting Mjolnir, he always could lift it. In Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
I always hear people say, "Oh, he was only a little worthy because he's keeping that cap."
But that's not a
he was
thing. You're either worthy or not
yeah,
worthy.
he was like people saying like he was keeping that secret from it was Captain America keeping that secret from Tony about Bucky, so he wasn't actually like truly worthy. He was only a little worthy, and that makes me so mad because it's like no, you're worthy or you're not worthy. There's no in between.
Yeah.
It's like it's whoever
Like it's either infinite or
whoever
not
shall be
infinite.
worthy.
Like,
not whoever shall be completely worthy or a little worthy. It's worthy or not worthy.
Yes.
Fake fans.
I know. If you think Captain America was a little bit worthy, then you're a fake fan, and you should just stop. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Right.
just kidding.
But yeah,
But anyway, Endgame, masterpiece of a movie. Holy crap! Just think about it makes me want to watch it again.
So okay.
and like Professor Hulk in Endgame, I think is underrated.
I do too.
Like people say like, oh, he's not even as strong now. I miss old Hulk.
I don't.
Like I don't like he like whenever like it was kind of getting old to have like this big, strong, indestructible mindless monster who was always there if someone was in trouble. And he didn't really have any character arc, but now Professor Hulk is like Banner conquered Hulk pretty much. Like
Right. Yeah.
he finally accepted that Hulk is a part of him. So what he did was he took the best of Hulk's world and his world and he put it together. Brains and the bronze together.
Boom. Best of both worlds.
Boom. Best of both worlds. Hey, you want a picture with me?
Yeah.
I'm Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So good. But
I think one of my favorite things about Endgame is the trailers only show like most of the trailer footage is like the first 10 minutes of the movie, which I really like.
So you set it up like they're immediately going to go to Thanos, and there's going to be this big battle. But they kill Thanos, like, immediately, and then, like, you don't know what's going to happen the rest of the movie. Like, it's just so, I love that so much.
And what I also love is, like, Ant-Man is my favorite character in the MCU. And, like, he really didn't interact with anyone. He did, like, a year later after his movie came out in Civil War, but not really. But, like, Endgame, finally, when that movie came out 4 years later, like, he was interacting with the original Avengers. And I thought that was...
Yeah, he was like the most important character in that movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And he was like the original Avengers with Ant-Man. And I was like, yes! Teach them the magic.
So sick. Because, like, yes, do it.
Amazing move. So good. But yeah, Endgame, 10 out of 10, masterpiece. Nothing is better.
Yes.
Even though I have two movies that are actually above it.
But
Yeah.
still, either way.
The original
it's a masterpiece.
Avengers. Amazing.
That
I
is
think
also a great movie,
that's
yes.
super rewatchable too. It's
Yeah, for sure.
like it has good villain, has a good story, good character growth. It has everything. Like Coulson, he died. He came back in Agents of Shield. Let's see, Stark almost died because he took that sacrifice play. And then Cap showed that he was. Oh, that's also something I liked in Endgame. Like, you know, that in the first Avengers
each other
movie,
wrong.
Cap was like, take off that suit. Would
You're not
argue.
the guy who
And he's like
makes-
genius
yeah,
billionaire,
you-
playboy, philanthropist. You're not the kind of guy to take off the sacrifice play. Well, he did that in Endgame.
And then Stark is like, well, everything special from you about you came out of a bottle, and then he lists
lifted
Mjolnir. So like they prove each other wrong. Yeah, I love that so much that they
Because
both
Skinny
prove each other
Steve
wrong.
could have lifted Mjolnir.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool to watch. But yeah, I love that whole like thing. And then, and also in the first Avengers, it was like all these movies are finally coming together.
Yeah.
First two Iron Man movies, Thor and Cap. Like, and then you saw Black Widow in Iron Man 2. You saw Hawkeye in Thor. You saw Nick Fury in Thor 2, Iron Man and Iron Man 2, and in Cap. It was just boom.
Yeah.
And then you saw Incredible Hulk 2.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much our MCU ranking. Okay, what do you think is the most overrated MCU movie and the most underrated MCU movie?
Most overrated, I think, is Black Panther, and most underrated movie, maybe Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I think.
I'd say
Yeah. What are you about?
I'd say overrated, either Black Panther or Winter Soldier. I'd say more Black Panther, definitely. And then underrated, I'd say the first Avenger or Age of Ultron. But
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Age of Ultron.
Yeah. That's fair. And then to go through my whole list again, it's from worst to best, like all 23 movies. It's Hulk, Captain Marvel, Thor 2, Thor, Spider-Man 2, Iron Man 2, Guardians 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Homecoming, Iron Man 3, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain America 1, Thor 3, Captain America 2, Guardians 1, Ant-Man, Avengers 3, Captain America 3, Avengers 2, Avengers 4, Avengers 1, and then Iron Man 1.
And mine, from worst to best, is Iron Man 2, Thor the Dark World, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 3, Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain America, The First Avenger, Homecoming, Guardians 2, Black Panther, Iron Man, The Avengers, Far From Home, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Guardians 1, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame.
Yeah. So yeah, these are our lists.
So there we go.
Do you agree? Do you even remember anything we just said?
Probably not.
And if anyone here is still actually listening to this podcast, thanks for listening, Sky.
Yeah, thanks, Sky. And also comment fluff or nugget.
Comment Puff or
Or
Nugget.
no,
and
comment
we'll-
comment butternut.
Butternut.
Use the safe word.
But yeah,
All right, well-
if you comment Butternut, we'll see if you can be the guest in our next podcast, or we'll just shout you out in the next
We'll consider
podcast
it.
at the end, and
One of those two.
you can be our biggest fan.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, do all that crap.
Follow our
Listen
TikTok.
to us on Spotify,
Follow our TikTok, Google
Tinder.
Maps, Pinterest.
Tinder.
Yeah, and we will see you sometime in the future for another episode of the A- podcast. Later.
Later, losers.